And I am live. Let's see who's going to be first in tonight. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Let's adjust. Vegas Vixen, the winner. Ooh, you almost made it, Amy. Ooh, got nipped right there at the rail by Vegas Vixen. Me. How you doing, honey? Nice to see you. The great Vegas Vixen in the chat here tonight. Nice to see you, Rory and Amy's Life. Hello, Jay. How are you tonight? Good evening, everybody. Nice to see all of you tonight. We're going to have it's not going to be a real long chat. I will be baking tomorrow night. I will be making classic cinnamon rolls. That should be very interesting. I've already pre-started the dough. You should always start it the night before your mix. How you doing, Tammy? How you doing? We still haven't gotten up to the P.O. box. I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be the day. How you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you. So tomorrow night I will be making, I won't be baking on Friday night. We'll be enjoying our crab feast here, our fishing and crabbing haul. We'll be enjoying that on Friday night. I know it's going to be really cold. This is the coldest time until the rainy season comes in, well, it could come as soon as late November. It could come in December. It might not come at all. But I know Las Vegas can get awful cold out in the desert when that sun goes down, man. It ain't no joke to be in the desert in late fall. So number one, I want to thank everybody for the kind comments today. Missy Jen has been really cracking the whip around here. I'm getting a lot of things done that I let slide that I should have not let slide over the past few months. I'm making her a little happy. Yeah, the yard turned out good. Thank you. Thank you. I think it did too. I'm pleased. I'm always pleased when I can get control again. And I think Jen's yesterday's like, well, you just might be. This might be too much for you to handle now. You should probably, I don't want him up on a ladder, Vegas Fixing. It's like liability a go-go. And Jen is like, it's probably too much. You should probably sell this place. It's like, and then I was sleeping in it. I thought, I can't sell this place. I got to show her I can rise to the occasion. So it's been two very good days of work. There is a lot of upkeep and maintenance here. This is a working rancho. How you doing, Linda? It means we produce things here, and our main production is fruit, much of which we donate around here. Apples, oranges, plums, peaches, persimmons. So we're broadening out our production here. Broadening our production here, and our goal has always been to produce about half a ton to 1 ton of fruit here on the rancho. So years ago I planted it's a very compact, very small orchard. But hey, how you doing, Wendy Johnson? Nice to see you. But it gives me great pleasure to be productive. What are you drinking tonight? Whiskey with a squirt of water. I'm not drinking anything tonight. Hello, Uber. How are you, sweetie? Thank you for making it into my chat tonight. So I changed out all the sprinkler heads. I think there's 8 of them out front. And it was a mess. How you doing, Pam? You know what, Pam? I had so much fun. Hi, Missy. I had such a blast on your stream tonight. It's so much fun. It showcases your talent perfectly on there. How you doing, Judith? Hello, Kim. Hello, Huckleberry Pie. Do you have lemon trees, or it just look like? Yes, I have a Meyer lemon tree. It probably produces about 80 pounds of lemons at this current point. So yeah, I had a great time, excellent time, Pam. It was like old times. And finally, I was able to make one of the streams tonight, and that thrilled me. Just got back. Hey, Amy says I just got back from my trip to lay my dad to rest. Was thinking when we were on the highway, I had to drive through pouring rain from Indiana to Pennsylvania. Well, Amy, I'm very sorry for your loss. There was somebody who wrote me about the loss of their dog. Here, I was saddened by that too. Losing pets, losing people is it's always difficult. And I can't do it. And I told you guys the story, and you can see the video of me putting my dog down, Wolfie. And for my first 2 years here, Wolfie was my only companion here on the Rancho, 2011, 2012, before I started YouTube in January of 2013. All I had was just Wolfie and Wolfie and me. Yeah, I had my friends. I had the boss and Janet. I kind of knew Bobby, but wasn't seeing Bobby. And Wolfie finally just got too weak, couldn't stand up, so we had to put Wolfie down, and I couldn't bear to be there at the end. So Missy Jen was the one that was with Wolfie, and then probably not even. I want to say maybe less than a year later, she had to put Mandy down, her big dog. So yeah, it's a sad time. So hello, Denise, nice to see you. You can see me picking lemons. I have videos on Rosie Murphy and Rosie O'Kelly picking lemons and taking them right inside making a lemon meringue pie. Hello, new YouTube music gallery. And it's one of the greatest joys I have here is taking my own fruit and making something out of it. It's very, very special. Good morning, spirits. Nice to see you. And that's another thing I like. And I like to go out in the fall and winter. Yeah, we do lemonade, lemon bars. I use the zest in cheesecakes. I'm trying to think what else I do. I'd like to go out in winter time and grab some oranges off of the orange tree and fresh squeezed orange juice. Nothing like it in the world because it's still cold in the morning when you pick it and you squeeze that, and it's unbelievable. You have the juicer, and it just makes great orange juice, and it's amazing. Yeah, check them all out. Just put lemon meringue in there, and you'll see a lot of that. It must drive California nuts when you are using your well water. They can't impose a fine for using town water for lawns or gardens. Yeah, they don't like Victoria's. They don't like that at all. Yeah, you need to hire me for your fantasy room, the horror room. They don't like it. They've always pushed us to close in our well, and we're right in the center city of Santa Rosa, and we literally have one of the last working wells here. But we couldn't afford to do what we do. Last year until this year, we decided not to plant tomatoes to let the tomato boxes rest. We were producing 100 pounds of tomatoes, and I was putting up 5 gallons of sauce and all that. So, no, a lime is a different taste experience. It's not, thank you, Spirits. You're awful sweet, honey. A lime is a totally different, it's a little bit different in the way of its taste. So, yeah, nice to see you, Pam. And again, what an honor to be. It was fun to be on a chat and seeing Pam and Ricky, just the classic stuff that they do, and I was honored that finally it was a night that I could be in there and enjoy classic comedy with those two. What a gift they have for comedy. As far as other fruit we grow, I have videos of us harvesting figs. Hey, Michaela, how you doing, sweetie? We produce about, I would want to say 200 pounds of apples. We have a classic heirloom apple tree, the Gravenstein variety, which does very well, but it does not ship well. That's one reason it never caught on well. It's a local one. It's great for baking, great for juicing. but it could never ship well. So it's a very local variety. So let's see. We have an apple tree, a fig tree, two cherry trees. I think the one is a Stella, and the other one is a Bing cherry. We have a Bartlett pear tree. We have two plum trees, a peach tree, probably I want to say one, two, three, four, five, six citrus trees, and a big persimmon tree. We have more pears than we could deal with. Not much you can do with pears. Pears don't, you can make a galette. I have made apple butter before, Pam. I have made applesauce before, but I prefer to use them in baking. Will you ever do? The only thing we've ever grown, Amy, is tomatoes. But because I plan on being on the road and traveling a lot, it's really not. I don't want to plant things if they're just going to die outside, not be taken care of. Yeah, things can be gone. Shitty. Thank you, Michaela. You're sweet. You can make pear applesauce. You can make things called galettes, which is really a ring of pastry that you put. You can section up the pears and make a nice round of slices, and it looks very beautiful. But a pear, you can. The thing to do is to caramelize the pears with a little bit of salt and a little bit of brown sugar and some butter, and then you put them on the galette, and then you bake it. Man, then you really have something there. That's one of the reasons I really like lemons, is because lemon is a really strong flavor that holds up. Where did you learn to love baking? I don't know if self-taught. It's just something I've enjoyed doing for 15 years. And I have a huge recipe book, and it's more demonstration than actual recipe stuff. Hey Gina, how you doing? How you doing, Vanessa? Nice to see you, sweetie. Over in London there. Hope you're having a good day. Pam says my daughter makes it. I have homemade apple butter in my fridge. Yeah, it's fun to make that apple butter. I love to bake. That's always been my thing, and that's what so disappointed Marshall when he came to the rancho. He's like, "Where's the food?" It's like, sorry, where's the food? Sorry. Amy says, Rosie, there's mountain roads in the east or something else. The view is so beautiful. Yes, it is. Victoria says, a town next door put a pump station right next to the top of it and blocked my well water. Oh no. They had to connect me to town water for free, fill sinkholes. I kept well. Yeah, I got to keep my well. I wish I could cook. I would love to have supper with Missy Jen and a homemade dinner with Rosie. Yeah, that would be cool. But, when Marshall came here, and he was just heartbroken that first time he looked into the fridge. Hey, Beavis, how you doing? Yeah, thumbs up are appreciated. The first time he came into looking at, I guess he expected to see steamship round of beef and turkey and all the trimmings and every kind of deli meat. And there was nothing in there. Nothing. So, nothing really. But, there's stuff in there, but, we eat to live. Vanessa says, unfortunately, I cannot eat lemons because I have an ulcer. Never had lemons. I get really bad heartburn, so no lemons. Oh, I couldn't exist without lemons. I just absolutely adore the flavor of lemons. Lemon bars, lemon meringue pie, lemon cheesecake, lemon cookies. Lemon just is such a robust flavor. You know what's difficult to work with? Orange is a very difficult flavor to work with. Yeah, did you see that, Pam? He was devastated. He's like, there's nothing to eat in here. I don't need, this ain't Leave It to Beaver where you come like Eddie Haskell and start grazing in the refrigerator, My well water sucked. Minerals smelled like Satan farted in the house. Yeah, you must have had more of a springs or something like a hot sulfur water or something like that. It was eating the dog's treat. Yeah, big time sulfur. The first time I went to New York, not the first time, but I took a trip to upstate New York on my way to Montreal years ago. And we stopped in a place called Saratoga Springs, which is a real hoity-toity, really hoity-toity town. It's where they host horse racing in August, big time horse racing, big purses, big events. And everybody was talking about how great. How you doing, Joseph? Hey, Carlos, everybody was talking about, uh, you got to get some, could you bring some of the water back? And of course they have just fountains in the middle of the town. And I couldn't even get close to it. It smelled so bad. I adored Montreal. Montreal was just amazing. Montreal was amazing. The thing that I always remember from Montreal is they have a church there. It's called St. Joseph's Oratory, and you go in there, and this is one of these churches that's famous for healing. And you go in there, and there's literally from the past 150 years, maybe 200 years, all you see crutches on the wall where people got cured or whatever, and it's an amazing sight to see up there. It's called St. Joseph's Oratory, and it was you hear about these places like Fatima and uh, but this was pretty amazing. Yeah, if you're not on Pam's Patreon, shoot the shit, their Patreon, you're really missing some really fine entertainment. And when they get with a small crew on Patreon, it makes you feel very special. You're fully engaged in the chat. You don't have to worry about anything. It's a very calm, very funny chat. And it makes you feel special to be on. It makes you feel honored to be like, it's like theater and around. It makes you feel like it's theater in the round. Let's see. We'll give this guy the royal boot. Hide that on that channel. Let's see. His family. Yeah, it's family there, and it's a very special. Yeah, it's kind of like here, but this is a public forum, and they have a private. Faces of the Sun says the Melbourne Cup runs today. I guess Vinny will be down there, huh? Of course, they run the wrong way. That's why I had such a lack of success in Hong Kong when I took my handicapping game to Hong Kong. I use your royal boot, and you're a very big topic on because you. Thank you, Amy. Did you boot Elvis off the Wi-Fi? I should pull the plug at nighttime. At 1 a.m. That's it, brother. It's like the lights go out, the power goes off, and that's it. Nothing prepared me for horse racing in Hong Kong because it was on a scale that's unknown in the Western world. I mean, you have two racetracks in Hong Kong. One's called Happy Valley in the middle of the city on Hong Kong Island. And they would run on the weeknight, like a Wednesday night. And then they had one that was up at Sha Tin in the New Territories, close to China. And because it was run by the Royal Hong Kong Jockey Club, and all of the profits that they make fund all of the health care in Hong Kong. So you go into a clinic to be treated, a hospital to have a baby, and you virtually pay nothing because the Royal Hong Kong Jockey Club. So I was used to handles like on a big racing day, like at the Preakness race, which is the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. You have the Kentucky Derby. in Louisville at Churchill Downs, and then you have the Preakness at Pimlico, and then the Belmont up at Belmont Racetrack. You know, three very famous horse racing tracks. And they would do $100 million on a premium day like that. And then you go to Hong Kong, and they're doing that day in and day out on those things. Yeah, Hong Kong could be history. You never know. Uh, but it was interesting. They ran the wrong way, and I could never get a handle on racing in Hong Kong. It was just too difficult. How did you do in your sports book gambling days in Las Vegas? My strongest game in Vegas is a sports book. I'm probably virtually undefeated on the sports book in Vegas, especially college football. Shoot to shit. Can you call a race for us in Chinese? Well, I don't speak in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but I do speak Chinese. But I'm not sure I have all the nomenclature on that. Brooke says, Rosie, do you and Missy Jen have onesies pajamas? Well, how you doing, Deborah? Onesies, you know, they're cute. I like onesies. Missy Jen and I are usually like t-shirt and panties when we go to bed, or once in a while I'm in a baby doll nightie or something like that. But never really, you know, I'm a minimalist. You know me. We stayed in Fremont, Indiana. All I kept thinking about was Vegas. It's a shame because those people will never be able to assimilate the Chinese rule. Well, it's not so cut and dried in when China with Hong Kong. Let's hear it, Rosa. Horse two to win. I don't think I can do that, Pam. I don't have your skill set. Thing you got to realize is that China has to be very delicate with the way they handle a special administrative region like Hong Kong. They cannot be iron fisted. If it was within China, you wouldn't have any media attention. You just have things leak out after 2 or 3 days if they had to quash something. And they do it all the time. Up in northwest China, they have the Xinjiang region, which is dominated by Muslims up there, and Muslim culture big time. And the Chinese are continuously trying to populate Han, which is the main branch of Chinese people, continuously trying to populate that with Han Chinese people. And they're frequently given to riots up there in Xinjiang and places like that, but you never hear about that. But Hong Kong is a special case. It's an international city. It has a lot of international businesses there. And China doesn't really want to upset the apple cart. They have to be very careful how or that'll just kill them as a financial center. So, let's see, why do they run backwards? I know I said they drive on the wrong side of the road. I got to Hong Kong and I almost got killed crossing the road. You know, I'm looking the wrong way. I'm like looking this way. And, and in Hong Kong, vehicles have the right of way, not people. So if they run over you, it's your own darn fault. Were you talking 100 million US, 100 million US dollars? They had huge handles over there, absolutely staggering. Can I ask why you lived in Hong Kong? I was working over there, Amy. Victoria says, I have to pee so often at night I'd be cutting my onesies into fiveys. Well, some nights you feel like dressing a little sexy when you go to bed, you know. So it's one of the prerogatives, right? Most nights it's just, you know, panties and a t-shirt. It was fascinating. It was five years over there. 5 years, all over Taiwan, China, every region of China, the Philippines, and Hong Kong. That was my 4 territories there. Oh, you went to the Dead concert there and loved it. It's cool. Cutting onesies into, you know, Rosie, man, I have to have a statement outfit when I go to bed. I've been to British Columbia. Hey Pam, how are you, darling? It's horse racing just as it's much bigger there, Pam. It's like the whole city gets involved, and they have off-track betting parlors in every neighborhood, and they're jammed on race day. And the race courses are jammed with people. It's almost like a Kentucky Derby every time they do horse racing there. Get this, a maid at a hotel in a sketch area with the red dot asked me if we could bring her son back to Chi-Town with no idea was. I guess he was maybe a student or something bumming a ride. Yeah, Montreal is beautiful. In my line, I can see her. Yeah, just okay. So yeah, unblock people on there. So I can't imagine that, Amy. Why somebody would ask that? Interesting. It's like it's so random. Hey, could you, it's like you're in Maryland. Hey, man, could you drive me to California? Would you take my kid to Berkeley? On that, Rosie. Okay, there we go, Spears. Tell that story. No, they don't get dialed up for the races. I mean, they do have a very high, they do have a fringe of very high society that makes the South China Morning Post newspaper daily, uh, which at one time was, the most profitable newspaper in the world. There, the South China Morning Post is the English language one, but and they'd always feature. They had boxes, and I mean, they modeled everything that they did in Hong Kong high society was modeled on the English model. Everything they just, tried to imitate the British system as much as possible. Have you ever ridden a horse? I'm too scared to ride horses. Pam says, I think you're beautiful, Rosie. Which Rosie are you? Well, it's been a long day. It's hey bully, what's going on? There's not much to clean up in that room. Most of his stuff is in plastic bins, so it'll be easy to clean it. Probably the lighting too. There we go. And yeah, you need a bikini sweater. Wouldn't that be cool? A bikini sweater. Yeah, so it was big time. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Pam. That's awful sweet of you, honey. It was awful. There was a lot of good times over there. The topper is I changed clothes real quick before my family decided not to stay there at the hotel, and I left my damn tennis shoes there. Don't you hate it when you leave stuff at a hotel? I left my really good California jacket. I think it was May. I was staying at the Golden Nugget or something like that, and I left my really nice jacket, California jacket, hanging in the closet. And a month later, I went back. I called a week after, said I lost it. They put it aside for me, and I picked it up when I went back. Yeah, so I don't know. I've left stuff. Chargers. They must have more chargers at hotels. More chargers at hotels than you can shake a stick at. But most nights, Missy Jen sleeps naked in summertime. So I just put it out there. I'm not spilling the tea or anything, am I? So it stinks to lose stuff. It was just a lot of. I can't tell you how many chargers I left at shower caps and things. You just forget the small stuff sometimes. Yeah. So I was gonna say, yeah. Make sure if you guys haven't joined the Patreon on Shoot the Shit. That's my idea of what really a Patreon should be. You have a something very special for people, and I think it's a lot of fun to be on her. Just a joy to be on there tonight and see them having such a good time, and we're all laughing like crazy. Be kind, rewind. There you go, Mike's Life. That's it. Be kind, rewind. Didn't they used to charge a fee if you went to return a video and it wasn't rewound? People got pissed. I had to rewind the video before I watched it. Remember the VHS tapes and all that? You go behind, you see the little curtain in the back with the adult section. It's like, oh my God. I didn't even know that they could do that. Rosie, what was the best thing about Hong Kong? Whew, that's a good question. The best thing about Hong Kong was the food was out of this world, and it was cheap, it was plentiful, and it was great. You know, you could go out at 3 a.m. in the morning, and the food stalls were still going strong. I'd leave in the morning to go to work. I took a bus into Central to Exchange Square, where the stock exchange was located. I worked in that building. And I would always hit this one stand on the way in, and they would have this really nice noodle with some veggies in it. Thin noodle. Ooh, it was so good. So good. So the best thing was the food. The next thing was the scenic beauty of Hong Kong. You know, you'll never forget if you take the Star Ferry. It's a very famous ferries that run back and forth between the island of Hong Kong Island and Kowloon on that side. It's just so beautiful to see the skyline, and it's just incredible. It's one of the greatest sights you'll ever see in the world. Let's see. Do you have? I pay a monthly on that, Amy, on there, and there's a couple Patreon people I support. My stuff is peanuts. I mean, but I'm getting a great deal on Pam and Rick. I'm getting a great deal on there. The other good thing about the transportation is very cheap. When I first got to Hong Kong in 1991, you could ride a tram, which was the electric little two-story electric vehicle on rails from one end to the. You could ride it for 15 cents. It was amazing. Hey Monique, how you doing, sweetheart? Hey Mark Handler, haven't seen you in a hot minute. Uh, it was great. You could take a ferry boat to the outlying islands. You could see at one time what was the largest Buddha in the world up there on Lantau Island. You could go to Llama Island and have a seafood dinner over there. It was amazing. Hey Hui Vu, nice to see you. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Hui Vu Vlogs, nice to see you, my friend. Friend of mine wants to go to Vietnam. D Dubs is very interested in going to Hong Kong, to Vietnam. I think he'll find that a very interesting experience. I think I'm going to have my one beer real quick. I'll be right back, guys, okay? It's Monday night. All right. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Vietnam. Welcome aboard. Let's see. Shout out to everyone, please, and thank you very much. There we go. Juzza man, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. The worst now. Nobody asked me about the worst things about Hong Kong. The worst things about Hong Kong. Ooh. And there were a few of them. Yeah, Da Nang is nice. I've been to Da Nang. It's a very nice beach area in Vietnam. Fix the problem. Have you called? No, I haven't, Carlos. What's the worst things about Hong Kong? Number one, it smells. Okay. The You have basically the highest density population on planet Earth right there. I mean, there's 6 million people in, I don't know, a few square miles, and you can imagine the sewage system and the sewers in summertime. It's like, whoa. And then don't forget the heat and humidity is incredible there. The heat and humidity. I notice you and Elvis wearing a lot of blue. Well, I have a blue sweatshirt that I like to wear when it's chilly to do my projects. So this is actually like a, I don't know what you would call this. What do you call this? A green, but it's a mixed green. Um, have you been to Australia? Yes, I've been to Adelaide. Mark says I was out of town visiting in front. I see that the KSRO texts are looking better. The fires are done, thank goodness. Hey Cheryl, how are you, sweetie? It's a lot of people, and the noise. There's always street noise, all hours of the night. There's food vendors out there cooking, washing chopsticks. You can hear as they're washing the chopsticks and ladling out the stews and the hot pots and things. So it's very crowded. You walk down the street, you're always banging into people. Let's see, Draft Tours Diva. I don't know Draft Tours Diva about that. I mean, it is what it is. No, they used to. When I first got to Hong Kong, Janet, I'm sure I've eaten dog before. And they used to have a place in Mong Kok that was a market that they would have dogs in cages and things for eating, but then they did away with all that stuff. I believe that they outlawed that eventually. So, um, I don't know about used panties out of the vending machine. Jeez, Carlos, where do you get this stuff, man? Man, I like my girls to have fresh panties, fresh G-strings, whatever, man. It's like, yeah, Amy says, I want to go to visit Japan and see where it was born. That's cool. That's very cool. Carlos, I don't know about stuff like that. I have no idea uh, about that. I read where goats may have saved the Reagan Library. Did it great. That's it. Would you suggest? Yeah, touring Hong Kong is definitely a must do. You must do that, but go over in March, April, and go or October, November. Especially October, November is delightful. The rainy season is over, and it's dry and it's great. Do you think that Australia should be the 51st state of America? No. I think Australia should annex the United States. Monique says, I was born in Germany and would love to see it. There we go. G-stringer or thong, never fresh for long. Well, not when I'm around, so that's for sure. Let's see, what did I miss? Yeah, I think touring Hong Kong is a must. It's one of the great cities of the world. Yeah, Missy Jen gets along very well with. It is extremely. There was a car park, a place to park your car. That went for $1 million US. A place to park your car. place to park your car, and real estate, even back then, it's insane. It was insane, and it's crazy expensive. I know when I bought a place to live back at that time, it was offered, do you want to have the car parking spot with it? And I remember thinking at that time, man, $25,000 for a car parking spot. And I ended up, yes, okay, and ended up at the end of it selling that off separately for $50,000. I didn't see Lynn Scott. Did you hear about beef stew in Thailand that's been simmering for 45 years? Yeah, I don't know. 45 years. Jeez. Who has to stir that? How come when someone is finished transitioning, they're still called trans? Well, they're not. Missy Jen doesn't consider herself trans. Trans means passing through. It comes from the Latin transit, which means passing through. So it's all a matter of nomenclature and what you call it. Yeah, I can imagine 45. Can't imagine cooking something for 45 years. I mean, who in the heck is going to do that? 45 years. Cooking something. I'm watching Vietnamese seafood on your channel. Yeah. I just couldn't even imagine something that somebody had to cook for 45 years. Hey, Mindy, how you doing, sweetie? Nice to see you. I have the boiling liquid kills all bacteria. I bet it kills all taste, too. Wouldn't it go bad? I don't know. Yeah, I've had an interesting life phases. What was difficult about Hong Kong is, as you guys know, there's many dialects that are spoken of Chinese. Mandarin is the national language of China, but in Hong Kong and in Guangdong province in the south, Cantonese is spoken, and it's the difference. It's the same difference as like between Italian and say Spanish. You'd recognize some things, but you would be at kind of a loss. So when I got to Hong Kong, I thought I'm good to go with my Mandarin Chinese, and it was like, no. So I started picking up some Cantonese along the way, but that's one reason I got assigned to China, was to do business development in China. There's Shanghainese, Cantonese, all different dialects. I am a big sports fan. I'm still savoring last night's Ravens victory over the New England Patriots. And of course, the Patriots are a top quality football team with the best coach in the NFL. But this kid, Lamar Jackson, this kid out of Louisville, this kid is amazing. Yeah, that's Japanese. How you doing, Nicole? What was the highlight of your life to date? I guess the birth of my kids would be the highlight. Thunderbird says it's a big pot they keep adding to every day as they serve it. Oh, okay. Will you go back? Yeah, I'll be in Southeast. I sure hope to be in Southeast Arizona and Southwest Arizona this year, because there's a lot in Arizona that I want to. There's a lot in Arizona that I want to see down there. But I think hey JT, there's a lot you want to see too. And I think we're curious about all the border towns down in Texas and
well, New Mexico. Man, like we've talked about.
I'd love to, Brooke. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Hey Coach, how you doing? That would be great. That would be awesome. I'm always looking to meet people along the way on YouTube. It really adds to the whole experience. They got 80-year-old grease cooking extra pan. Wow. Keep it in the back vault. I guess they use. I did start the dough for cinnamon rolls tomorrow night, so I will be baking cinnamon rolls to enjoy on Wednesday. Um, so that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. I have a lot of fruit trees I need to prune tomorrow. Get that all done. Want to get that clear so we can get all that cleaned up from the orchard. And then Wednesday is a big cleanup day for getting ready for fishing. Wish I could find a Class B like that yellow van I saw you with. That was a big GMC. Hey, Deborah. That was a GMC motorhome. That was 26-foot motorhome. How you doing, Gina? What's going on? How you doing, sweetheart? That was the only motorhome that was ever produced, every single part by a major car manufacturer in America, General Motors. In other words, all the other RVs, they buy the basic frame and they take it down to Elkhart, Indiana, and they'll make a motorhome out of it. This was one that was factory made by car manufacturer. Real rare thing. And what was really cool about this motorhome is it had a central vacuum cleaner as well as a dishwasher in it, which was pretty darn wild. We love on base, so you're our family. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. I'm not going to talk about used panties out of a vending machine, Carlos. I can't imagine anything more disgusting. And I don't believe you would find that in Hong Kong. Main cars and campers are rust buckets. Yeah, somebody was asking me in California, you never see rust out here.
No.
It's unseen on vehicles because the humidity is too low. No salt on the roads. No, none of that stuff. Brooke said, hi, Elvis. No, I think thank you. We bought these a couple years ago. Missy Jen had the pink and I had the green here. I don't know what to call this. I don't know what to call this color. It's weird.
That's the best looking hoodie I've seen you wear.
Yeah, it's a nice hoodie. It's very it's very form fitting. Drinking a big old glass of Grey Goose, huh? No,
Just water.
Yeah, just water.
I was going to tell you that the.
Oh, how you doing, Corey? I was feeding into the Berg's machine.
The cranberry
Yes,
juice.
thank you, Amy. Mint green, exactly. Yeah, I like the satin curtains. Thank you.
Where did you get that hoodie from, Rosie?
Oh, I don't know I think we got it at Wally World or Kmart. I think before our Kmart burned down to the ground. Yeah.
You don't see them that often like that.
You don't see them often. Yeah. This is very figure flattering one. Jen has one in pink. Salt from the ocean, salt and rose. Yeah, we just don't have anything here in the way of things that are going to degrade. Yeah, because it's not quite a turquoise, it's more blue. This is exactly a mint green on here. How you doing, Bon Burles? Yeah, Hong Kong humidity was absolutely brutal. Yeah, it has a hoodie on it. Yep. It's in the back there. Has a nice. I don't think I've ever put it up.
If you got a jogging pants that match that and some shoes, it would look good, like a whole outfit.
Yeah, that'd be okay. It'd be all right to have an outfit like that. So, you had you had a good hangout tonight. It was a good hangout. I like a hangout that's fully dedicated to RVing and stuff like that. It was good. I mean,
well, you kind of picked my brain because when it comes to the RV lifestyle, that's my life.
Yeah, I know.
And everything that you have, I've got an answer for.
I know.
When you live this life for 5 years, you see everything about it. But What I was thinking in my head right now was the.
Corey said, Marshall, I want to commend you for not timing out the fug it. I see talking of oneself in the third person is good for the channel.
Well, I timed you out the other day.
That was funny. I didn't mean to laugh, Corey.
Because you were trolling me. So as long as you're respectful, and then I won't time you out. But don't come in and say that you're going to donate to me.
I love Corey.
And troll me, because that's
she was doing that as a joke, I think.
But, that's not something to joke about.
Well, you know, I know it's not. I know it was a business. She doesn't troll on here. Anyway, I enjoy. It was a good chat tonight. I like talking about the RV stuff. I see that you're really coming into your element now. You know that you're enjoying focusing on exactly what you want to talk about now.
Right.
And once again, you know,
that's what I enjoy talking about, and so you know, basically.
I'm not sure, Amy, why he has you blocked. I don't know.
I just believe that somebody should follow their passion, and we had a hangout tonight. We talked over an hour about RVs, and you know,
Mayor of Santa Rosa, you couldn't pay me to run this town.
And the thing is that Rosie knows when I'm focused on something, I'm focused. I have a focus, and when you have a focus on something, you got a passion for something. You're good at it. You get better at it.
Well, it's like anything in life. If you have a passion, it's not work. It's
exactly.
It's fun.
So, no, what I was thinking about, I had the cranberry juice with the vodka, and I used to have a friend of mine in Chicago that got me into doing the Elvis thing, and he had a problem with his urethra.
Kidneys.
His urethra had, some guys, when you get older, you get a urethra infection and you can't pee. And so anyways, he used to drink cranberry juice. And man, I noticed, have you ever ate asparagus?
Yes.
When you eat asparagus, have you noticed your pee smells like asparagus? And it's, you know, does it change the color of your pee too?
I don't believe so.
But the smell.
Yeah.
The smell. Well, I noticed with cranberry juice, and I don't drink it that often, but it really makes you pee. And when you pee like a river. I mean, it's actually good to clean your kidneys out. But the thing is, though, they're putting sugar in this.
There you go, Corey.
In these cranberry juices. So if you could find cranberry juice, like say without the sugar or just the supplements, it would be good.
Good night, bro.
Because it really cleans your system out. And
yeah, Youngling beer is good.
Have you ever had cranberry juice?
Lavender.
And see what it
I've had cranberry juice. I find it too. I like a mixed with a grape or something like that.
It's too tart.
The juice that's in favor now is pomegranate.
Pomegranate. Okay.
Pomegranate. Right. That's supposed to be the one. Hey, Missy. That's supposed to be the one that's really. That's the one that's really supposed to be. Have the best nutritional value to it, the most benefits, according to them. Of course, that's to the industry. Knudsen makes it just cranberry juice with no sugar whatsoever.
That's kind of expensive. Knudsen's is a good product.
Yeah, it's gonna taste bitter. You know, it's gonna be a tough drink.
It's really
but I heard people that have kidney stones or kidney problems. They're encouraged to drink cranberry juice.
That thing was, I mean, I didn't drink that much. It was half of it was vodka, but just a little bit, and it really, I mean, it really makes you go. And it's from what I've read about it, it's supposed to be good for you. But again, like you say, you get the ones in the store, and even though it's 100% cranberry juice, cranberries are not sweet.
No, they're not. They're not as sweet. They're a tart.
No,
they're
so
very
how,
tart.
So when they say 100% cranberry,
they're still very astringent. They make your mouth pucker.
Right. So actually, maybe it'd be good to just get cranberries in season.
Well, the thing I think is cool is how well the Cranberry Council of Growers did in promoting cranberries. You know, before when I was growing up, the only cranberries you saw were on a Thanksgiving table. Now it's like cranberry juice, cran apple, cran grape, and
Have
all
you ever
those.
thought about getting a food dehydrator
I
and
used to have one.
really?
Yeah, for making dried persimmon slices and dried apple. But
Because for some
I can
reason,
go to a Chinese store and get dehydrated fruits and
I
stuff.
just picture in my head that you used to be into dehydrating things. I don't know. You
Well,
used to be.
dehydrating used to be a big thing with Bronco, you know, Popeil
I was a big fan of Ron Popeil, the
dehydrators and
Showtime
all that.
rotisserie, the juicer, and all that. Ron Popeil. Wasn't he out of California?
I don't know where he was. The guy was a marketing genius, though, man, wasn't he? The Vegematic and all that stuff. The
Yeah.
dehydrators, all that kind of stuff was. The best was the guy that the guy that created the singing bass on the wall. That was the
Nah.
that was
I was a big fan of Ron Popeil. I liked his style.
the Vegematic and the Vegematic and all
Wasn't it
that.
the Set It and Forget It, the Showtime rotisserie?
Yep.
Set It and Forget It.
Set it and forget the studio audience and forget it. He had the hot dogger. He'd put the hot dogs in and close the cover on that. Yeah, set it and forget it. Yeah, Billy Bass singing on the wall. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday to you. And my uncle took a baseball bat and smashed it off the wall because we kept pushing the button for the thing to sing. Now those things are worth a fortune on
I think
eBay.
the
And he
great
took a damn baseball bat. Why? Because it was interfering with a football game. He was trying to watch the Colts game or something, and he smashed
what
it
do you
off the
think
wall.
was the best TV product that ever came out? I'll tell you what I think.
OxyClean.
Mine's is the George Foreman grill.
That's a good one too, but
The
I'd say
grill.
Billy Mays and OxyClean was an amazing product.
Really?
Yeah, and I would put the George Foreman grill right. You don't think OxyClean is still
That's not
going
as famous as
strong?
the George Foreman grill.
I don't know. I'd put OxyClean right up there with Billy
No way.
Mays.
It's nowhere near as
No, I
famous
don't
as George
agree.
Foreman.
I think they sold a lot more money value of OxyClean than they ever did with George Foreman grills.
George Foreman was really big. The Foreman grill, everybody had one of those.
I didn't have one,
I bet you.
but I had OxyClean. Billy
I don't-
Mays here for OxyClean.
Yeah, that was big.
And
but
ShamWow. Remember ShamWow? OxyClean is definitely bigger. Yeah, OxyClean it's a
I
huge
disagree.
product on the shelves today. Still going strong.
George Foreman is in my opinion, the biggest.
Dr.
thing
Ho electric charge. Ginsu knives. That was a big one. Remember the Ginsu knives? Slice the tomato so thin.
Who was the Chinese guy that had an American accent that did the cooking show?
Martin Yan. Yeah.
Martin Yang.
Yan Ken Cook.
Yang Ken Cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was he from?
Yeah, I don't know where he was from. He was from Hong Kong, I believe, or China originally. If Yan can cook, so can you.
Right.
And his wife or something would be on there sometimes. She'd have her little Chinese outfit on.
What about Great Chefs, Great Cities?
I don't know. I liked Anthony Bourdain because he was off the chain. You know, he was, especially on cable, he could curse, and he was a blast. Okay, take care, Hui Vu. Take care.
Yeah, Victory Auto Records. I remember that.
Victory Auto Records or Moo and Oink. ShamWow. Remember that? Remember the Snuggie? I sure do. I sure remember the Snuggie.
You know what's bad about watching those shows, Rosie? You get it home from a club or something, or from work, and you put on those shows, and they're cooking, and it makes you hungry.
Yeah.
And then once you want to get at them.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Bourdain.
I think the George Foreman
I think he
grills-
was depressed. His girlfriend was a nightmare. I think.
The Foreman grill is a really good product. Very good. I use it for years for so many things.
Why don't you Google it? The most successful
I don't have my phone.
infomercial product of all time.
I don't
Somebody
think
can
it's
Google
OxyClean.
that on there.
I don't think it's
Yeah, the
OxyClean.
Pocket Fisherman.
George Foreman's grill sold a lot. Everybody had one.
Yeah, they like
Everybody
the
know. If
Foreman
you ask
grill.
people, do you know what OxyClean is or Foreman grill? Everybody's gonna say George Foreman grill. Nobody doesn't know what a Foreman grill.
Art Bell, coast to coast with Art Bell. West of the Rockies, call 1-800-243-2699. Good evening, you're on the air. Hello, Art. Yeah, I saw something over the Nevada desert and I didn't know what it was. Well, obviously, it was aliens, but our government will never report that truthfully and honestly.
One of the coolest shows.
No, I've not taken him on a chooch yet. I will take him on a chooch when the fishing is all done. We will go out on a hood chooch. We'll see how he stands up to the streets here.
You know what was the coolest?
Yeah, that's cool. Corey has a Foreman grill, a big and a small, out there.
You know what the coolest Art Bell show I ever heard?
What?
This guy called in and they were talking about the Hollow Earth. How this guy went in a hole, leads into the Hollow Earth.
And he heard the screaming, the Siberian hole. Oh,
yeah. Something about they put a sheep in there and it came out that it was cooked or something.
Oh, yeah, the Siberian hellhole or something like that.
I learned so much from the spiritual world from watching Art Bell.
Just remember, 20 years ago, you couldn't even. They would lock you up if you said that the Earth was flat. Now look at what we got.
Does anybody know if George Norrie is actually Chaldean Assyrian? He took over for Art Bell when Art.
Yeah, I can almost remember that there was some lady on radio that had. Man, she was on syndicated. But guys, I go all the way back to the 1960s when my grandfather would listen to his Herb Jepko's Nightcaps out of Salt Lake City, Utah. We're the Nightcaps, nighty nightcaps, and we hail from far and wide as we gather and reminisce and broadcast over the air. We're the Nightcaps, nighty night chats. Do 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 do. Go away, MSG. You're a dick. Nobody bothers trolling that chat. Boom, you're gone. No, it wasn't Dr. Joyce Brothers. I'm going to need you to come to Jack's, check in the room, cuddle me for 3 days. Thank you. I don't think anybody here is older than I am that remembers Herb Jepko and Nightcap show. Let's see. You go, girl. I love when. Hey, what did you do over at Colleen's tonight?
I thought you're not gonna. I thought you said you're not going to advertise.
Well, when a couple people come on,
you believe him. Let me tell you about him.
Well, I got a moderator in here.
That guy is a troll.
Have I heard of it? Who?
Cajun Kev is a troll. He's on.
Okay.
He's
Have
on.
you ever had an
He's 100% troll.
Dave Ramsey. All right, I don't want to.
And all he's trying to do is build up another channel. He's one of them. Cindy Lopez is a troll. He's a troll. They're all trolls.
Screaming for attention.
I know these people. I've been seeing them. I know where they're going. They're trolls.
Okay. Well,
and the more that you recognize them, you're just building up another channel.
I just was curious. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you the
Edward
truth.
Snowden, that's a guy that's on the run from the law, said he found no evidence of aliens when he looked. I believe that. I don't really believe in. I never have really believed in aliens. Because why wouldn't one ever come down and present itself on Broadway in New York City? Why is it always out in the middle of some godforsaken desert? You know, that's my biggest contention with that. No, I don't want to hear that, Nicole. I'm not going to go down that path tonight. My chats are all positive and happy. We tracked, there's no IP address tracker out there, Cajun Cat. Let's see, doesn't want to be, I don't know, Patricia, why would you really be shy? I mean, if there's been all these encounters with aliens and spaceships, and people say one crashed and they have it at Area 51 or something like that. Why keep it under wraps? Especially if it was in the 1950s when it's 70 years, 60 years later. What's the point? What would your answer to that be?
Well, it's kind of like there's been a lot of unidentified flying objects that people see all the time, and there's been ancient architecture of Sumerians, Assyrians, Egyptians showing astronauts and submarines.
You can't gather an IP address, Cajun Kev. It's impossible on
All I can
YouTube.
tell you is that
Hey, Trish.
Cajun Kev and Cindy Lopez are trolls.
Bully says I was inside Area 51 in 1957. Oh, okay. Brooke says the internet says Bowflex was the highest selling
Bowflex was big,
product off of infomercials because it was expensive.
It was expensive,
You
wasn't
had to
it?
pay
Yeah.
$300 to $500. But let's say a low cost product.
George Foreman grill. George Foreman sold more than OxyClean.
I
was-
doubt, no way.
Can somebody look it up?
OxyClean is still going as big as ever on shelves today. It's taken up more shelf space in supermarkets and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm not the definitive person. I know we purchase it. Why? Because it works really well. You use it in conjunction.
Cajun Kev and Cindy
your
Lopez, you're just
laundry.
coming in here to build up her chat, and what's against Rosie's
Yeah,
policy.
Cajun Kev.
She
I'm
even
not,
said she doesn't want to build up
Yeah.
anybody's chat. So
it's
you're
not
building-
that, Billy. It's just that I want to have a positive.
I wanted to ask Sofa Corey, what did you cook on your George Foreman grill? Because you have one.
A lot of people cook hamburgers on it. I've seen. OKC
Man,
says.
you can cook anything on there. It really comes out good.
OKC says that she had one. She uses the OxyClean. I think a lot of people use the. I'm not men's that faces the sun. I'm an average. I'm an average IQ. Good night or good morning, Nicole. I'm just not going to have my chat hijacked with BS. Proactive. Oh yeah. Okay, Proactive.
Wasn't that
That was Acme System P90X. I've never even heard of that. George Foreman Grill, Bowflex, and OxyClean. Okay, so that's pretty good.
Foreman grill is so good. You ever
That's
use
pretty
it?
good.
Foreman grill is really good. You can cook it. You can hamburgers, hot dogs. I cook steaks.
What's the
on there.
difference? I mean, I just get out of frying pan. I'm not sure what the.
It's so easy to cook on there. You just put the meat
What
on
is
there.
P90X? I never even heard of that. I never even heard. Yeah, ShamWow was a huge one. ShamWow was a huge one. Thank you, Pam. Talks just want to be friends. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been going in my own direction. I don't want to. There's enough places that people can talk all the BS that they want and all the negative stuff they want. I'm not going to have it on my
When
channel.
Nicole G saying that I'm talking crap, who am I talking crap to? I just have my own show, my own channel, doing my own thing. I don't have any troll accounts. I don't troll anybody. These people are trying to build up another person's channel. So please explain to me, who am I? I don't even talk about anybody tonight. I'm here to talk to one of my longtime friends like Sofa Corey. She's
Annual
been here since
revenue,
2014. What
200.
you're saying is
Thank you, Captain America.
doesn't make sense.
P9 is an exercise routine. I've never even heard of P9. Where's my phone? I want to
What
look
is
up.
P9?
I'm going to look it up. I never even heard of it. Where's my phone?
I can see you, Scottish Sharon. What's going on?
Hey, Scottish. And Sarah G. How you doing, sweetie? Let's look up the P9. Let's go on the P9 out of here. P9. Let me look up the P9 system here.
Right.
P9. Oh shit, my phone ran out.
Really?
My
That's
phone died. I don't have any charge on my phone to look up the P9.
I don't know what the P9 is all about.
P9. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever run my, well, almost. No, I ran it down.
Really ran it down?
Wow. I ran that thing all the way down to nothing. Shackley. I remember Shackley. Shackley vitamins. I remember them. Susan Powder. Yes. I remember her. Susan Powder. She was crazy. She was a blonde. She was all high energy. Take care, Trish. P90X is a
What's
very
going on,
strenuous
Lolly?
workout. Hey,
Sweating to the
Lolly.
oldies. Oh,
Oh yeah, that was
a big one. Approximately 200 million. The
who
oldies
was
CD, right?
that? Who was that guy with the
I forgot. Who was that
curly hair? That
guy?
what was that guy's
Yeah, I
name?
remember that guy.
What was that? What was that guy's name?
Showtime Rotisserie, the juicer. Who had the big juicer?
I'm not going to have my chat hijacked by nonsense. Take it over to Marshall's channel. Yeah, stop the insanity.
Marshall. I don't know. There's only any trolls on my channel.
I've succeeded for months in having a positive channel. I'm not going to go down the path of all that negativity.
Who had the
Love
first
Jones,
juicer?
Richard Simmons. That was it.
Was it
Richard Simmons? Yeah, $200 million
for the juicer?
No, he was the one with the exercise.
Okay, but what about the first juicer that came out? Not
There
Jack
was a
LaLanne,
guy-
not Jack LaLanne, but the one before that. There was a big time juicer that sold a lot of juices. What was the
I
name
don't
of that?
remember one. I remember there was the Bullet.
The Magic
Remember-
Bullet. No,
you
but there
remember
was
the
also a
Magic
juicer.
Bullet? I don't remember the juicer that came before that.
There was a big time juicer. The Juice Man. The Juice Man, right?
No, I don't remember a
Yeah, yeah.
Juice Man.
It was
I don't
called the
remember a
Juice.
Juice Man. Hey, how you doing, Forever Friend? Nice to see. Enjoying the van build. Thank you very much. The only one, Oster. Yeah, Oster. Oster.
No, not the Oster. There was actually juicers. Does anybody know the
I just know. I remember Jack LaLanne throwing in every. every.
It was the Juice Man juicer.
I remember Jack LaLanne throwing every vegetable
The
into
Juice
that.
Man. Yeah. Google that product.
Just wore
Is it the
one
Juice
piece
Man
blue
juicer?
exercise. I can't Google anything. My phone's
No,
dead.
I'm saying Mark Handler or somebody else can.
Mark Handler says, I met Richard Simmons several years ago. Magic Bullet explodes sometimes.
Magic Bullet.
That's weird.
I like the Magic Bullet.
What's the shake weight? Man, there were some really. Jim Carrey parodied him with the Juice Weasel. Hilarious.
Anybody can find the name of that juicer? Is it the Juice Man juicer? It came way before the Jack LaLanne. That was the big time juicer.
The person credited with the creation of the first juicer is Dr. Norman Walker. I sure don't remember that. Shake and Bake. Man, that was a big one. I remember when Shake and Bake came out. Man, that was like the greatest thing. Just throw that chicken in a bag and shake it.
You remember Coke too? How bad it
Yeah,
tasted?
disaster. And you had Coke Classic and the new Coke. What a huge, the Thigh Master. Yeah, with Suzanne Summers with the Thigh Master. How you doing, Harvey? 6:49 a.m. Good morning to you.
Good morning from the United Kings.
Bass-O-Matic, that was it, yeah. New Coke was gross. What a disastrous marketing idea
I
that
don't remember
was.
New Coke. I remember Coke too.
Coke Classic and then the New Coke. Why would you ever do that? Pepsi Clear. Why would you ever have messed around? I was watching infomercials. I was. When there'd be nothing on at night, the mother of all in-home was P90X. I remember Tony Horton, but I didn't know the name. I remember Tony Horton was a good-looking guy.
Hey Rosie, what about televangelists? They were big back then.
Yeah.
I remember the number one guy was Benny Hinn.
No, it wasn't Benny Hinn. There was Ernest Angley out of Ohio. Neighbor, good evening to you. Ernest Angley
I
out
don't
from
remember.
Ohio.
What year was that?
Jimmy Swaggart was much bigger than Benny Hinn would ever be.
Really?
on
Benny
that.
Hinn was
Yep.
pretty big.
Well, Jimmy Swaggart was the biggest of the big, and Oral Roberts was huge. And I remember I met Jimmy Swaggart in person. I said, "Brother Jimmy, could I have a picture with you?" And he said, "Come on over
He
here."
kind of looked at you weird though, right?
No, he looked at me. Come on over here, stand next to me, darling.
How tall is he, Rosie, in person?
He's a big boy, man.
Really?
He's like 6 feet 3 inches tall.
Is he pretty tall?
About 240. He's a big boy, man. He is a big boy. Tony Little, that's it. I'm sorry, Tony
That's
Little.
the exercise guy.
Yeah.
I remember.
UFOs are real. I don't know, Bully. I don't know.
I think who in here was our Bill
Dr.
fan?
Bolton. Hey, Lovable Rogue. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Exactly.
Odds 17. Are you the Art Bell fan? Do you know George Norrie's still running Coast to Coast? I wanted to tune back in the other day.
What about the British guy that did the infomercials with the bow tie?
Yeah, that guy was a pretty big talker.
The
I forgot his-
Australian guy took over from Jim. What was the guy's name? Mays, Billy Mays. When he died, the other guy took over. Tammy used to cry. Yeah, the PTL club, Pass the Loot. PTL with Tammy Faye. Yeah. Do you believe in alien baked potato? I think that's pretty funny, Lavender. Not a big fan of George Norrie. I could never get into those shows.
George Norrie is not a. No, I don't like George Norrie either. I like Art so much better, but Art so sad. You know Art Bell? Do you know his wife? His first wife, Ramona.
Oh, I don't even remember when it was. In the 90s.
His first wife was from the Philippines. She
Graham
died in her
Kerr,
sleep.
the Galloping Gourmet, Frankie. Yeah, they were huge, man, until PTL passed the loot. Yeah. It's not much still on syndicated radio, I'll tell you that. Not much. Rex Hubbard, he was another big one. Thank you, Wayne Rostro. Thank you very much.
I wanted to tell you something about Art Bell, Rosie.
Yeah, K-Tel Records presents. Remember K-Tel? The hits of the 60s and 70s. K-Tel Record presents.
What about the shows where you used to call in and say, please say happy birthday to me and play me a song? Remember those in the 80s?
Dedication song, like Casey Kasem, America's Top
Well,
Boys. Tonight we
local-
have a special dedication. It goes out to a young lady in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She writes, Dear Casey, I never thought I would meet the man of my dreams. And then one night I'm listening to your show, and boom, the next day.
You know, my favorite show was, Rosie, my favorite show, Love Connection. Chuck Woolery. I love that show. Did you like that?
Well, I was more of the dating game era with, I can't remember what his name was. The dating game. I can't remember who the host. Yeah, Soul Train. With Don Cornelius and the Soul Train out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's the Soul Train.
The one year I remember a lot is '88, and when
that's cool, Lavender.
Was Star Search just about actors, finding actors, or just singers too? I remember that was a really big show, right?
Yeah, it was pretty big. I think it was any kind of talent.
Any kind of talent.
1-800-900 Freddy Krueger. I remember the psychic, Sister Tawana and stuff, but she couldn't predict her own future of being in jail.
What about the 900 numbers, Rosie?
That's what I'm saying. Call 1-900 now for sexy talk.
I can imagine Rosie.
$1.50 a minute.
I can imagine Rosie being one of those commercials in her bikini. Call
now. Yeah, Miss Cleo.
1-900 The Rancho. If you want some hot talk.
With
the Rosie girl.
Yeah, Miss Cleo. Yeah, she was a psychic, but she couldn't see that she would end up
Miss
in
Cleo.
jail.
Yeah.
Chuck Woolery, thank you. But who did Bob Eubanks? He did the dating game.
I don't remember that.
PBS. Yeah, do that next time. PBS.
I wanted to do. I like this format that Chuck Woolery had, Love Connection. I wanted to do Love Connection on YouTube. I've always had my dream to have a show on YouTube, Love Connection. And I could have, didn't they have one bachelor and 3 girls, or vice versa? It was just a guy.
Well, the dating, I don't know. I remember I go back to the dating game, and then the match game, or whatever it was, they would have the dating game. They'd have Bachelorette number 1. Bachelorette number 2, Bachelorette number 3, and they'd come out and sit in these tall chairs, and a person would be and ask them questions. Yeah, the Newlyweds with Bob Eubanks. Who did the dating game? Jim Lang was the dating game.
Did you remember the dating?
Oh
services?
yeah, Ted Bundy was on that show. Believe it or not.
Did you remember the dating services they had before the internet?
Dating service. Well, they had.
Or you have to pay, and they make you a video.
There were like franchise. I remember there were franchise places that would do matchmaking and stuff. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the heck it was. Yeah, 1-800 pincushion. Yeah, John Ritter was on the dating game. Night Stalker. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was on there, but I sure remember the dating game. Uh, let's see. Rosie count to 10 in Chinese and Marshall count to 10 in Assyrian.
Okay, you do it. I'll count it.
1、2、3、4、5、6。
Okay, I'll count from 0 to 10. I'll add 0.
Well, I'll add 0 too.
Okay. صفر خ تري طلا أربعة خمسة إشتا شوة ثمانية أتجا أسرة.
Hey Mills, how you doing? Well, 0 in Chinese is Ling. L-I-N-G, Ling. Ling, E-R, 3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。Remember the Coneheads? I sure remember them.
You know what's one thing that's unique
Ni
about me
hao,
and Rosie
huh?
on the bottom of YouTube?
What?
We're probably some of the very few people at the bottom of YouTube that can speak 2 languages.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of you just know how to speak English. A lot of you don't know a
Well, I
second
think
language.
a lot of people can speak
unless they're Spanish.
Spanish, maybe
Who?
things like that.
Who in here? I don't see that many Spanish people in there.
Yeah, Pam's like, I'm counting to 10 in English. I might.
Who can speak a second language?
Yeah, it's nice to see Mills in here today. Yeah, the beautiful Mills.
I don't see a lot of Spanish people at the bottom.
Some people know limited Spanish.
Well, I'm saying fluent.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Do you remember calling a WWF hotline hoping to talk
I remember
to Hulk
the
Hogan?
WWF hotline, yeah, but I never called it. Yeah, I remember that.
Let's see. Brooke says I speak German and fluent in Spanish. There you consider. Let's see. Rodney Alcohol was a dating game video. He was weird. There were
A lot of Canadians speak French.
Yep.
Some of them do, not all of them.
Yep, Mexican and Spanish, fluent in both. My boys know how to count in Spanish. I insist. That's good, Corey. I always figured it this way: if you knew English, if you knew Chinese and Spanish, you were good to go in about 90% of the populated parts of the world. You know, with those 3 languages,
Spanish
you were
is
good
very
to go.
important.
Yeah,
and to me, Arabic is important to learn. I like Arabic. Arabic is hard. It's not, well, it's a little bit harder. I guess any language is easy as long as you learn it.
Oh my God, the phone bill was $200. I remember parents slapping the heck out of the kids because they were calling 900.
Yeah. For those of you who say that
you can talk to Santa now.
Yeah. For those of the trolls that say that Elvis Travels is not intelligent, I speak Assyrian fluently. I don't know if you guys realize that. How many of you trolls can speak a second language fluently?
Yeah, there we go. I know he does.
I would probably say 99% of you can only speak English.
Forever saying I speak Nornish.
And hold on. This is a good challenge for the trolls.
That's cool. I know English
any
and
troll
American
out there,
Sign Language.
If you can speak a second language fluently,
A, B,
prove it to me
C.
on a video. Because I can speak Assyrian fluently. أنا همزة من سورة رابا رابا سباي أخ دكتور.
Marcel.
Rosie, شيدنتا.
It was interesting to see Marshall walk up on the street. Where in the heck were we? We were down in El Cajon, and we're just riding down a random street. Marshall's like, "Hey man, that guy's Chaldean there," and he starts speaking to him in Assyrian there. It was pretty cool, you know. It was pretty funny. He was asking him where the hot spots are for, where's a good place to eat or what's a good Middle Eastern food and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I knew Arabic, I could be an interpreter from Arabic to English and make a lot of money.
Forever, friend.
But you're risking your life in Iraq. You can get killed by terrorists.
I'm going to be baking tomorrow night. I'm going to be making cinnamon rolls for breakfast on Wednesday because we're going to need a lot of energy because it's going to be a big cleanup day, brother. Around here, getting ready for the big fishing trip coming up. V Gates, Missy Jen speaks German.
I was gonna ask Rosie a question today. Today I was playing some music, right? Can you differentiate the Arabic and a certain language by music? Okay, what I was playing today, do you think it was Assyrian or Arabic?
I don't know.
How can you not differentiate the
Because
two?
usually the singers are Syrian and just straight music is, I don't know, Middle Eastern. I just know.
You can't differentiate that.
I just look up a standard, Brooke. I just look up a standard like the Loveland, Colorado cinnamon rolls. They're legendary. The truck stop there in Loveland. If you put in Loveland, I love that last fishing trip you went on. That was totally cool. Yeah, we're going to be doing another one Friday. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing a lot of video. Uh, well, it was fun. I mean, learning another language. It's supposed to be able to help. It helps offset Alzheimer's and stuff like that. That's always a good thing. Anything that expands your mind and learning new things when you're older.
I'm very lucky that I learned
Elvis, are you
Assyrian.
going fishing?
Nope. The first time I went fishing with my uncle in a pond at that RV park that was next to our property, it took my uncle like 8 hours to catch a fish. And ever since that day, I'm like, this is stupid, man. I'm not doing this. That was the only time I ever went fishing. I didn't go fishing. I was watching my uncle go fishing. Like, this is
Well, the
boring.
places we fish are so loaded with cod and stuff. You just drop your hook to the bottom and you're going to hook something. And last time we were out, we were bringing up really big rock cod. Really big rock cod. Let's see. So I'm looking forward to that. The brain can get lazy. Shang Di Zhui Hao Megwo. God bless America. That's it. What's the best WrestleMania match?
Best WrestleMania match. Well, um,
Yeah, Sudoku is supposed to be good for the brain too.
I guess it had to be Hogan versus Andre. I'm thinking. Maybe that wasn't WrestleMania. Maybe that was the main event.
Corey, if the
I think it
zombie
was Hogan,
apocalypse
Hogan and
happens,
Andre.
I want Rosie on my team. I'm good with short arms. I'll tell you that. Are you willing to give up the fishing spot? No, I'm not willing to give up the fishing spot. Okay, Laura, thank you. Everything is all good. I look forward to getting your email. Let's see. Brain, like any modest, will give ASMR a try. Get off fizzy. I think it's just important to keep your brain sharp and to always be learning new things. Open, just it's like I feel about studying. Yeah, there we go, Corey. It's like I feel about studying electronics. And reading books and studying electricity theory and stuff. Yeah, badass battle partners. Yeah, we'll gun it out pretty good, Corey. I think you can even not me forever, friend. Short arms, deep pockets. Yeah. Where are you going fishing? We're going off of Bodega Bay out in the Pacific Ocean. So it's always a good time to get some crabs and some fish. Specifically some rock cod, which rock cod is my absolute favorite fish. I'd go in the water. You got built-in floaters. There we go. Oh, you always know Arabic. Yeah, books are good. Love electronics. It's just, I use a lot of high school textbooks. It's amazing what they used to study in high school in the 1950s. Yeah, I saw a couple was murdered on. Actually, they went into Mexico. Yep, Bodega Bay, the birds, and they got this couple got murdered. Went over. Last thing they saw was this surveillance captured their
In
RV.
in South Padre Island. Is that
The
an
last
American
thing that
side?
they
That's an
saw,
American side.
yeah, they were murdered somewhere there. Last thing they saw was their RV driving into Mexico, driven by somebody that was not them. So obviously their RV got ripped off and, taken into
When did
Mexico.
this happen?
I think it happened over the weekend. Like maybe Saturday they discovered the bodies or something like that.
And it happened in South Padre Island?
They were found in Corpus Christi.
But
Corpus
where did
Christi.
the crime occur? Where was their RV stolen at?
I'm not sure where it. I'm not sure. They found the body in Corpus. Oh wow, Rose. 720 hours. Ohms, sweet Ohms law. E equals I times R. Yes. Not a lot of stuff. Joey says, after viewing your channel, I must say I think are one nice person and very interesting. Thank you, Joey H. Thank you, Joey H. We don't eat rock cod here, just normal cod. Yeah, there's some big ones out there. Our cod is, last time we went to a fishing spot that was deeper than our usual one, and man, they were some big, I got that big ling cod, was that long. I pulled that thing out. Man, that was, and I treated myself to the good piece. I gave you the bony.
Well, Rosie, you got to learn how to take the bones out.
I'm not taking bones out.
Why?
We're not here to do all that micro prepping of fish. You know, we're here to tell you be careful of any bones while you're eating.
I like the fish.
You may kid the boss is already sitting there for 3 hours processing fish, and you expect him to pull all the bones out.
But when you get the fillet, why don't you take the fillet out?
We do take the fillet, but it still has smaller bones in it.
Cut that part off.
It doesn't matter. You don't cut it off, man.
Yeah, you do.
Marshall, you know nothing about fishing. Your uncle took you fishing one time, and in 8 hours he caught one fish. Now you're an expert on fish.
You just need the fillet. Is the only good.
Get away. Get away. Yeah, truck stop Brenham cinnamon rolls. How you doing, Vicky? Fireworks tonight. 5th of November is going to be loads. Is this yeah, shut up. Is this Guy Fawkes night?
Redfish is good in New Orleans. Yeah, the drum and redfish. That's what they have in New Orleans.
I can't get them on the boat because we go out in November. The seas are going to be high. They're going to be rough. The ship is going to be up and down like a mofo. And there's going to be a lot of people hanging over the rails. So I don't think, it's... Well, and if you can't swim, you shouldn't be on a boat. But it's not going to make any difference anyway. If you go overboard, hey, Chris, if you go overboard, one or two things are going to happen within 15 minutes. What do you think they are?
You're going to drown?
No, apart from drowning. I won't. But what's going to happen in 15 minutes?
A shark will eat you, right?
Number one, a great white shark will take you. And they're 21 feet long out there. They're huge. They sit outside of these harbors because the tide brings out stuff from in there and good eats. Or number two, hypothermia is going to kill you because the water year-round is 57 degrees. You'll be dead within a half hour.
Have you seen the shark out there?
The first trip we went on, I have a video of a 21-foot great white shark taking down a sea lion. You could have heard a pin drop on the deck of that boat when people saw that. You saw that fin? And
I remember that.
And that was
I saw
unbelievable. Just standard cinnamon rolls, Vicky. Yeah, lingcod. I caught a big, gigantic lingcod. Absolutely enormous lingcod. Everybody on that boat was like, wow, man. Even the captain got next to me. Whoa, nice lingcod there. It's on. Just put Great White Shark in my search box, and you'll see it. I set it to a little bit of music. You can't see it perfectly because I had to enlarge it but you can see the fins and you can see the blood in the water. And the captain's like, I've been out here for 30 years, and that's only the fifth time I've seen that occur. So those, you know.
How big are the waves out there?
It can be 6 or 7 foot seas, which means the horizon's disappearing. You're going down between
Jeez.
waves and
That's
stuff like
scary.
that. And it's cold, and
Yeah.
it's it's serious business. This is it. So, but once the sun comes up and it warms you up, you're sitting there with coffee. It's beautiful, and let's get those lines in the water, man. And here comes your fish, and here comes the crabs they're pulling up.
You gotta like
I'm
fishing to
doing
do
great, Poppy J. Thank you. I've seen a lot of whales out there, Annie. Yes, I have. A lot of whales migrate right up the coast. Yep, big ones. The big ones up there. It's fireworks tonight, the 5th. Let's see. Yeah, hypothermia will kill you in the Pacific here. You will die of exposure. It was a huge fish. The captain congratulated Bijev. Saw that. It was a giant one, Sean. That fish was big. That's cool, Corey. You spent my childhood deep sea fishing with uncle and dad and friend. I hate following seas. They're the worst sea to be in. You know what a following sea is? That's the sea that's coming directly off your stern behind you. And what it does, the wave comes up behind you, it lifts you up, and then it plows your front end down under the next wave and up. And it totally stops your forward progress, and I mean it is a really hard sea to go in. I had some big following seas on Chesapeake Bay. Ever fish for deep sea marlin swordfish? No, I have never done that before.
Marlin is good.
I watched a video the other day of a guy a fisherman in Australia that landed a 600-pound tuna, and it took him about 10 hours to fight it. Hey, Jen, 600-pound tuna.
Wow. Yeah.
That's about 400 pounds of meat. Better have a big freezer, brother. No, I never fished in North Korea. I don't know. Read a lot and live a lot, Jasper. I'm sorry your life is. I'm sorry your life has been so limited to golden books and
People
stuff
always
like
said
that.
this. Rosie, even Mr. X said this. He said Rosie knows a
Be
little
well
bit about
read.
everything.
That's what a liberal arts education. That's what a liberal arts education does. Do you fish where the Peterson guy? No, that was off of Berkeley Marina. That was in Berkeley, in the San Francisco Bay there. Yep, fighting the fish. Yep. Yeah, you learn a lot at 61 if you have half a brain.
You remember the good old days when Sofugga was out there in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and her
I
trailer
do.
out there
I do.
in that den, Corey's
She
den.
called it the bitch den out there. I remember that. Chris, we keep it positive. Okay, it's all good here.
Wasn't she drinking
We're
those-
not all that. You know, what was she drinking?
What was she drinking? The Rocky
I'm not sure
mudslides?
what she would. I don't think she drank Kahlua and cream. I remember her doing that. Drinking them. I can't remember whatever. No problem, Chris. I just keep it. I don't mind. I grew up in. Yeah, I got an Edge Golden book. Yeah, mudslides. You know, I'm city born and raised. Nothing's gonna bother me when it comes to conversation and stuff. Nice to see you, Jen.
No, Madam Ninja has a van, right?
Yes, he
You should watch the video of Rosie putting the floor in the Lisa Marie. Maybe you can learn something on how to put a floor in your van.
Your roots are Chesapeake Bay. Yeah, mine are up the bay a bit down there. Take care, Faces of the Sun. Have a great one, my friend.
How are the seas in Baltimore compared to out here?
The seas? It just depends what the weather was. Any body of water will be rough if the wind conditions.
Right.
I've been caught in squalls on Patapsco River off Fort McHenry. You couldn't see 20 feet in front of you.
Jeez.
And there's freighters coming in and out.
Oh.
And, all of a sudden one looms out of the darkness and lightning striking all around. And the old man says, go pull the anchor up out front, and you're just pitching down in the seas and
And
the
a small boat.
small boat. Yep.
I guess
small
you're
boat.
used to it. She's used to being out there.
Yep, it takes a tough man. That's right, Bert. Takes a tough man. So
I wonder what the seas like are up there in Maine where they do all the lobster fishing. Are they
this will
pretty
be
big?
about a 75 to 90 foot boat that we go out on.
What do you think the seas are
Oh,
like?
thank you, Corey.
What do you think the seas are like up in Maine where they do the lobster fishing? Are they pretty rough?
Yeah, they can get rough
Really?
up there. Atlantic's rough. Can be very rough.
Worse than this
Can
side.
be, yes. The Atlantic is much rougher than the Pacific because of the winds and the, out on the Pacific, Pacific comes from peaceful, Latin for peaceful.
But all the winds come from the west. So how could all the weather comes from west to east, right?
Yeah, but they have just strong storms rage over the
You mean from the-
Atlantic,
oh,
and
that's hurricane season only, though,
Yeah,
right?
it's not just. It can be year round though. The North, like Whistle Bridges says, the North Atlantic will hurt you. Absolutely, that's been the graveyard of ships over there from the Titanic.
Maybe that, but
to-
where Florida's at, the Atlantic side of Florida is much calmer.
yeah, that's
than
calmer because remember, the
San
closer
Diego.
you go to the equator,
the calmer.
the calmer the seas are. Okay.
So the North
down
Atlantic
there.
is worse, or not. The
You
South
don't-
Atlantic is not.
Yeah,
as,
there we go, Opiami. You don't get any hurricanes at the equator and stuff. They're all north. What do you care, Bert? You pick time to set out and return with the tides. Yeah, always fish on the incoming tide if you're going to be shore fishing.
With San Diego, I've seen the pull of the water there. It's much worse there than anywhere in Florida. I've been all over the eastern seaboard from Key West all the way to Cocoa Beach, and I felt that the Pacific, Southern Pacific, is much stronger pull.
Well, if you go up to like the Bay of, yeah, I mean, what do you care? It's not your hair. You go up to the Bay of Fundy or something up in Canada, and you are like, don't they have super high tides up there? Hey, how you doing, Johnny Wad? They have like enormous tides. Kill people. They can be down on the beaches and stuff collecting rocks, and next thing you know, the tide comes swirling in, and it's like a 20 foot plus
Jeez.
tide, and they're scrambling up the cliffs and stuff like that. There's Bert showing his true colors. Bye, Bert. Have a good one, my friends. We don't do that here. Go take it elsewhere. Also used to scuba dive. Scottish, nice to see you, honey, in there. All right, I'm going to take over for a minute. I'm going to check my laundry here.
Okay. Yep. Harvey De Niro, what's going on, Harvey? So Fugget Corey, what's going on? What's going on, Johnny? Johnny, how many girlfriends you got down in Rosarito, man? You're probably the coolest guy on YouTube as far as YouTube side chat. Johnny Watt. I'll tell you guys why he's cool. Johnny is in Rosarito Beach in Mexico, which is the beach area of Tijuana. Johnny is in a cool place. So, every time I see Johnny, I'm going to be like Ed McMahon. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny. But not Johnny Carson, the great Johnny Watt. You're a smart man for being in Rosarito, brother. So how many BBWs you got over there? In Rosarito Beach down there in Mexico, brother. Johnny's the coolest guy on the side chat, man. How many girls you got in there, Johnny? Still down there in Rosarito, or are you back in Diego? Like I said, why do I think Johnny Watt is cool? Johnny Watt stays in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, south of Tijuana, part of the year, part of his life, whatever. Allegedly. I haven't seen any proof of that, but that's what he says. I'll take his word for it. But if you have been down there, brother, send me some pictures of you and some women down there in Rosarito Beach at Assyrian God 33, ASSYRIANGOD 33 at gmail.com. Send me some pictures of you and some women down there, brother. Prove what you're saying. And if you're still working and living in Diego part time, then I'm thinking you're probably in your 50s or 60s, or you're like semi-retired or near retirement. So I'm thinking, I'm just imagining that you're right around semi-retirement, probably early to mid 60s, to be able to do that. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be financially ready to do that. I'm just curious. To me, if you say that you got a place in Rosarito Beach, you got to be semi-retired or near retirement. So I'm saying that you're early 60s to mid 60s. I mean, if you got a place down there, I mean, if you're in Rosarito Beach, you're not working, you're basically on vacation, or you're retired, or so I don't know. I mean, it's just I'm just curious. I'm just curious. You know, uh, just curious why you're in Rosarito Beach. Just curious. I know Americans can't own property in Mexico. Now you might have a timeshare there. People have timeshares. Um, you can own, I guess, a property or a place, but not the property. And I think you can only be in Mexico or Canada for 6 months. So either you have a timeshare, or maybe you just have a place like a condo that you just go to from time to time.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Laundry. Mike Mundane. There's a guy I miss. Mike Mundane. He just quit being Mike Mundane. Yeah.
Did he ever make any videos of you?
Yeah, he did the GMC motorhome. He put Bobby, Missy, Jen, and I in the motorhome, and he ran the original commercial of it with us in there, like we were.
So you like the stuff. You were a big fan of him.
Oh, I was a huge fan of Mike Mundane. Mike Mundane was awesome. He was a very talented guy. I think he.
The greatest thing that he ever did with me was Elvis versus the World. If it's still up, it's about an hour video of me, classic Elvis travels.
There's still the Mike Mundanes. How you doing, Kaylee?
I don't know if he's still.
He was the best. Yeah, I think he had a Japanese. I think they found him in Japan, or they said he was Ryan somebody over there, or something like that. I'm not sure who it was. Somebody named Ryan somebody or other.
He has a Lisa Marie video posted.
Yeah, he was a very talented guy. Yes, he was. Mike Mundane Monday nights. Well, it's getting on to how long have I been on? In almost an hour and 50 minutes. I will be baking tomorrow night. Yes, Boundless Travels. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead, Jewel. I'm sorry, I'm just on my way out. Corey, nice to see you here tonight. Yeah, I gotta leave. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do tomorrow. I got a lot of fruit trees to prune. I want to thank you guys for another very fun chat tonight. Had a great time. Thanks for being on. And yeah, sorry, Corey.
Good night, Corey and Johnny Wad.
Yeah, thank you. I'm baking cinnamon rolls tomorrow night. Classic cinnamon rolls.
No
Love you
pecan
too,
rolls.
Corey. And take care, everybody. I still do have, yes, I do, Johnny Watt. I do. Scottish. Good night, honey. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and y'all take care. No problem, Jen. See you, Mark Handler. I am baking online. So good night, spirits. Always an honor to see you. Have a great one and enjoy yourselves, everybody. Woo.